All right, guys, Clucas here, back at it again. NFL draft rankings. We're moving on to the wide receiver position. So, without further ado, and I should have done this in my running backs video. I'm kind of upset that I didn't. But let's do some honorable mentions. I should have done this in both the running back and quarterbacks video, but oh well. We're going to go wide receivers and start here. So, honorable mention that did not make my list. So, here are some guys. We've got Javon Baker of Central Florida. Now, these are all, first of all, this wide receiver class is phenomenal. Let's start there, okay? It is great. This is why I really want to do honorable mention for these guys because they deserve to have their name said because I think they could be very good in the NFL. Javon Baker of Central Florida is one of those guys. Brendan Rice, if you know the name, it's because it's Jerry Rice's son. Jalen Polk of Washington. Jacob Coing. This might be a spicy take. Xavier Worthy, the guy that just ran the fastest 40 time at the NFL Combine, did not make my top 10 list. Sorry, not sorry. Did not make it. Jermaine Burton of Alabama, Ricky Purcell of Florida, Jamari Thrash of Louisville, Lad McConkey of Georgia did not make the cut. And the last name that I want to say, because even though he didn't make my top 10 wide receiver list, if you're looking for the next Puka Nacua, the guy in the 5th, 6th, 7th round that could get drafted and pop and win, offensive rookie of the year next year, or just pop and be, like I said, like Puka Nacua, keep your eye on Jalen Coker of Holy Cross. That guy, I think, has got the potential to be Puka Nacua-like based on where he lands. Last year, 59 catches, 1,035 yards, 15 touchdowns, 6'3", 213. Listen, again, the theme of all this has been, if you don't know, go watch film, and I'm going to stick to it. If you're looking for somebody that could be that Puka Nacua type guy to go in the later rounds and pop, I think it's Jalen Coker of Holy Cross. So, moving on to the top 10. Again, kind of like my quarterbacks where I had a 4A, 4B. Right here at 10, I have the same thing. So I have a 10A, 10B. And 10A, I have Malachi Corley of Western Kentucky, and 10B, Roman Wilson of Michigan. They're both kind of the same guy. They're going to be slot receivers in the NFL. Malachi Corley is, I won't say probably, he is quicker than Roman Wilson, but I think Roman Wilson might have him in terms of route running. They'll both be slot receivers in the NFL, though. I think Roman Wilson could have potential to have, depending on the situation. Again, for a lot of these guys, it's what it's depending on. Amon-Ra St. Brown type, feel to him. So Malachi Corley, Roman Wilson. Number 9, I have Adonai Mitchell is how you say it, of Texas. Big, strong, honestly moves quick for for the size of his body. Kind of George Pickens like for him. So he sits at number 9. Number 8, Xavier Legette, another big body out of South Carolina, another big body wide receiver that moves way quicker than his size would tell you. Sure-handed as well. I'm a big fan of Xavier Legette. I don't think he gets drafted really, probably till early second round, but that's a guy that I would consider taking in the first. 7, Troy Franklin out of Oregon. I'm a big Troy Franklin guy. I really like him, especially if he were to get drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs with that last pick. I think that'd be a perfect scenario for him, but just a big play receiver. 6, Brian Thomas Jr. People are arguing that he's better than Malik Neighbors because he did more production-wise than Malik Neighbors did. But Brian Thomas is definitely a first-round guy to me. So I really like Brian Thomas. Number 5, and this is a guy that I am not seeing a lot of people outside of Steve Smith. And if you're looking into the wide receiver class, and you want to know, and you want to have somebody that for sure can give you surefire wide receiver information, go listen to Steve Smith when he's breaking down these wide receiver prospects, because he talks highly of this guy, Malik Washington out of Virginia. You talk about a guy that had a big time year this past year. And I think he is a probably the most underrated prospect in the class. I would draft him round one. I have a round one grade on Malik Washington. Um, yeah, he's got that Zay Flowers type feel to him. I would draft him round one if I was an NFL team. Number 4, Keon Coleman of Florida State. This is an absolute specimen of an athlete at the wide receiver position that can run, that can jump at his size. So initially, just based off eye test, I had him as the second best receiver in the class. And then obviously when you sit down and you break down everybody else's game, it's kind of hard to beat the top 3. But Keon Coleman is very good. 3, Rome Odunze of Washington. Some people have Rome Odunze 2. I have him at number 3, which is not a knock because these wide receivers are phenomenal. 2, Malik Neighbors of LSU. That's a guy that could do it on the outside in the slot, can do it in a variety of ways. And then number 1 shouldn't be a surprise. It's the best player in this draft class in Marvin Harrison Jr. He's the best wide receiver prospect we've probably seen since Julio Jones. The dude is just a freak. There's not a single ball that you can't throw him that he's probably not going to catch. So that's the wide receiver rankings. Stay tuned. We're going to get into some more. But for now, signing off.